guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca. Today we are going to be tackling a backyard project. It's still technically a little bit of winter, in the middle of winter, but I'm hoping that this will be done by the end of early spring so that we can set up our pool and have our backyard little patio area set up. This is going to kind of be a little bit of a flex space. We're going to eventually put these privacy screens. I'll get to that in a moment. We are just going to prep a small area on the patio out here right outside our back door. I'm going to lay out some astroturf. We're going to put a little bit of turf, make it feel a little bit less rocky. I want to say a huge thank you to Enclo. They are sponsoring today's video. They sent over these screens. They are absolutely gorgeous. They're beautiful. I cannot wait to just see them with a ton of plants around them. They're going to be so pretty, and honestly it's going to add so much visual interest to the different spaces. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put them. I want them around the pool, and now that I see them up, I'm like, they're so pretty. I want them down here all the time. So I'm excited to start with these ones, and eventually I feel like we're going to be adding on. We have quite a bit of space and they are impeccable. First, I'm going to share a ton of footage from a weekend prior of me just kind of getting this space ready, and then stylish and beautifully made, and they came in a really small box. I'll show you here in just a minute. So their packaging, I appreciate, was really minimal, and it was honestly easy to break down, which will be great for my garden. So let's get into the video. So we are headed into Lowe's and Home Depot. I think I made 2 separate trips, which is pretty small considering anytime I do a DIY project, especially something for the garden or the yard, I always end up making, it feels like 18 different trips. So I grabbed a little bit of all-purpose gravel and then some sand. We're going to actually be putting turf here. So my husband and I marked out the size turf that we got. We purchased it off Amazon. We've purchased it before for our front yard, had no issues, and it worked out wonderful. This is just kind of like a dead space in the back of our corner, in the back of this area in the backyard. I love the retaining wall. I feel like it's got a ton of potential, but it is such a long, kind of like an odd area. I've never known what to do in this corner. This is where the trash cans sit, my husband's shed, and another shed, and it's honestly just kind of like the maintenance area of our yard. So we're gonna make this space cute and pretty. I'm not a professional. I am just a DIYer, so it's always fun to share these projects. 1, because I'm learning, and 2, it's just fun to watch a space transform, something that doesn't have to break the budget, but also it's just nice to make things over and learn in the process. I'm not trying to make this 100% level. We are just going to be putting turf down here, but we wanted to get rid of some of the high and low spots. So I removed quite a bit of the rocks around the outer area, the outer edge, kind of where the corners of the wall meet. And we wanted the grass to be a little bit under the first brick. We didn't want it to be too high. So I'm going to go ahead and just start tamping things down. You can buy machines for that, and we did that. You can see I'm out of breath. We bought the machine when we did the larger turf. It was, I think, around 1,500 square feet. It was astronomical to try to do that by hand. It would have taken forever. And so my husband did that. And this little section, a hand tamper works just fine. It takes a little bit of energy. I was obviously super tired, so I took a break. I came back. It didn't take too long. All in, it was maybe like 20 minutes. So I'm just trying to make sure that the rocks are compacted enough, and then I'm going to throw a bunch of like the pea gravel or purpose gravel, whatever you want to call it, and then a bunch of sand just to make it a little bit softer, so that this is going to be a flex space if we put the pool on here, or if my kids want to make this like a rock yard with their toys, whatever. I move furniture around all the time in the backyard. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work. I'm going to dump some of this out, and it's not going to look very uniform, but again, there are high and low spots, and we honestly just wanted to kind of work with what we had. The rocks I love down here. I didn't want to remove too many, because if we ever decide this area is going to change, it'll be really easy to roll up the grass and kind of spray away the sand, and we're back to normal.
Whatever you do, don't forget me, 'cause you never left my mind, not once. Yeah, every touch my heart goes bumping. Baby, I can't get over you, I can't. You make me feel good, gonna make you mine, baby.
gravel anywhere that were like super low spots, the spots that honestly I don't know, I feel like there's always some low spot in this rocky area. And then we put the sand everywhere. And again, we're not aiming for perfection. We're just aiming for a little bit of a softer landing point. Our kids are still super tiny and these rocks can be super sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and again, do my best to get this as even as possible. And honestly focus a little bit on the center area. We're gonna have furniture kind of up against the wall, and there's a table that goes in here sometimes. It honestly depends on the season. I feel like that I'm in my house, I change furniture in the room depending on the season, and it's like that with like the table that we have out here. Our kids place it, kind of floats from the top of the yard down here. Sometimes we move it in all different places. If you're indecisive, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. I am extremely indecisive when it comes to placing furniture pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and start tamping again. I am just tamping down the sand, and I ended up having to go back to the store for more sandbags. We always have sandbags lying around the yard, so I assumed we had more than we did. Obviously we didn't. I needed, I think, maybe 3 or 4 more. Not too many, but I'm trying my best again to make sure that it's as compacted as possible.
You only call me on the weekends when you're out and about, only chasing highs. You need me, he brings me.
Starting to lose hope looking at this. It just looked like I made a bigger mess, and it was like glorious to actually roll something out. I love that there's something green down here, and honestly I don't want anything to maintain down here, so this was our best option, and I've never been more excited to see something green in this space. We have quite a bit of just almost empty space back here, so I love that this is going to be really easy to maintain. It's going to be super nice. Again, if I change my mind, I can literally just take all of the nails out of the rocks and they come up pretty easy. I'm trying my best, absolutely my best, to make this as straight as possible, and it was folded up into a square, which is hard to believe, but it was super easy to take out of the box. I'm super excited with this, and it was really easy to roll out, not like the grass that we put up above that. Oh my gosh, it was so heavy. So our markings were spot on. I was super happy to take those stakes out of the ground. So I think it's just going to be nice, like I said before, to have a flex space, whatever we want to use this little corner for. It's right off of our back door, so it's easy access straight to the kitchen, the mudroom. We homeschool, so it's really nice if the weather is nice. I can just, you know, have something set up outside super quick. It's easy access if you're a mom, you know, to bring the dishes in and out, barbecuing, you name it, whatever we decide to do out here. If we want to do school out here, or the kids end up making this their play space, or during the summer we turn it into the pool area. Our kids are still pretty small, so we have a smaller above ground pool, which will be so easy to set up here, and everybody's feet are not going to be crunched with all of the rocks. So I think it's just going to be really nice. I'm going to go ahead and put up this gate. I wanted some sort of separation, and we found these on Amazon. It came in a pack of 2. They were pretty simple to put together. I was pretty surprised with the quality, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on the outside of the grass. I don't know, it's like in between the kids play area. I just wanted some sort of separation so that the edge of the grass wasn't frayed.
He gives me good loving, something that I never thought existed. I know what I need, ain't gonna lie. I know what I want.
Putting these into the ground was pretty simple. I did have to use the kids' basketball hoop to hold it up, but once I got them going in the ground, it was fairly easy. I almost contemplated using the shovel, but I was like, nope, I'm gonna crack it. And I ended up just by a hair missing the retaining wall. So somehow I measured, I don't know if you want to call it girl math, I eyeballed it, whatever, but it ended up actually working out perfectly. You'll see here in a second. So I'm gonna get those in the ground, and then we later decided to add a brick border to the front and the side as well, just to kind of give it a little bit more character.
A queen is a king to be by her side.
am so ready for spring. I cannot wait for the weather to stop, but just it goes back and forth. It'll rain and then we get some warm weather for like 3 days and then it'll rain again and then it'll rain for a week. Or I'm so ready for the sun, and as soon as the sun comes out, I know everybody's like, I'm ready for the rain and the cold weather, but I genuinely am so excited for this spring season. There's so many different things, so many different goals I have. You'll have to let me know if you enjoy being outside in the garden. I am not a bug person at all. We were actually doing yard work today, kind of straightening up after we had a huge water storm, so we had quite a bit of flooding back here. Here's how everything turned out so far. I'm going to get into the privacy screens here in just a moment, but super happy with how everything is looking. And you guys, I found the biggest ant, like almost an ant hill. I don't know, but I scooped some mulch. I was trying to kind of rectify everything that was damaged back by our trees, and oh my goodness, I was so excited. I did not step on them, but I just don't do bugs. I love to garden, but I cannot stand being around bugs. How those mix, I don't know. I'm gonna finish putting these bricks down and then we'll get into the privacy screens, which are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I cannot wait till you see them.
Tell me, do you really need me? I'm painting pictures and I'm dreaming about that good love and something that I know you cannot give me. I know what I need, ain't gonna lie. I know what I want, speaking my mind now. A queen needs a king to be by her side. On my mind's loving's on my mind. He can do me better, he can do me better.
So again, a huge thank you to Enclo for sponsoring today's video and partnering with me. They sent over these beautiful privacy screens, which I am in love with the color. Let's talk about the color first, because I love anything that is almost a warmer toned wood. I am definitely into a warm tone, and I feel like that's a really happy medium. There are several different options. I'll leave everything linked down below in the description box. We're gonna put these together, but again, I love projects. I love the idea of projects, but honestly, sometimes my DIY heart, I just don't have it in me. So these are a happy medium. They are so user friendly. It literally is so easy. Everything was in the box and they're put together within 30 minutes, and that was so simple. All of the instructions are really well laid out. It's super easy to read, and I think there was under 6 or 7 steps. So there's a video for assembly, and then it gives you different options. So these privacy screens, number one, they're actually quite large. You can have them freestanding. I love the options. There's freestanding, and then you can mount them to a deck or a patio mount. There isn't hardware included for some of the options, but the freestanding option is what got me, because again, I love to move things around, so I can literally just pick these up and move them wherever I feel like. And I'll show you that I move them around the yard. We're eventually going to use these for the above ground pool area we're planning for later in the summer, but for right now, they're going to go down here, and we'll use them in the kids pool area, kind of a flex space, if that's what we're going to call it for the rest of the video. I don't know how many times I've said that, but they are so extremely simple. The wood pieces just slide in, and I did use a mallet a few times just to make sure that they were completely nudged in there so that they wouldn't come out. And then you pop a few pieces in, you screw them together, you screw on the legs if you are doing freestanding, and you have a beautiful privacy screen that literally looks like you made it, and it took forever to cut all of the pieces and sand and stain, and it's so impeccably done. It comes in a really slim small box. Packaging is minimal, and the setup was just a breeze. I turned on some really good music, and I did this 4 times over, but I will save you your sanity of watching me do this 4 times. It was a really fun process though, because it wasn't something that was just overwhelming, and I'm still getting used to using a saw, so this was a great happy medium for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these together. I did call my husband over to help me lift it up. I wanted to make sure that I had everything tightened prior to standing this up. I always need him to finish the last part of like screws or anything that needs to be tightened. I'll call him over and say, hey, I need help with this. But these are so simple. These are the freestanding legs. And when I mean these are literally a breeze, they are so well done. And honestly, I love the black hardware. It just adds a little bit of a pop, but they are pretty substantial. So if you're worried about them falling over, I wasn't quite sure how this was going to work. But once I actually took everything out of the box and put them together, I was super surprised at how simple these were, but they are pretty sturdy. So we are excited whether we decide to build another deck or whatnot. Honestly, options are endless. I had so many ideas this day when I was putting these together. I stopped after the first one. I started moving it around the yard and I had to finish all four. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the second one and just kind of include some footage. But just look at how beautiful they are. I love natural wood elements, and adding just some sort of different texture to our yard, I feel like is going to be really fun.
Baby, I've been thinking about the things we said. Oh yeah. And maybe we'd be better off being just friends. Oh yeah. It's getting kinda obvious what you want from me. Only calling when you feel alone. You make promises, then you let them go.
So now that we have all of these put together, I'm just going to line them up back here. This is eventually where the larger pool is going to go. We're not quite sure what kind of base we're going to do, so bear with me. They're not 100% level on the ground because of all of the rocks that we have lying around here. And I wanted to show you what they look like when you line them up. It truly is exactly like a beautiful privacy wall, and I cannot wait. I think we're eventually, I'll show you in a second, gonna add maybe 2 or 3 more so that we can kind of enclose the pool area. I think it would be really nice to just kind of have a little bit more privacy. So it's going to be really pretty. Putting up these 3 together, you can tell that the privacy is actually really, really good. They would stay 100% together. I don't know if you can see there's a little gap between the 2. That's just because there's a ton of rocks and they're not on level ground, but they will be here in just a minute. I just wanted to show you in a space in the yard where you could actually have privacy, and I think this is eventually where they're gonna be. It's beautiful. It has privacy. It also provides a little bit of shade, and their slogan, I love it, is hide with style. And you can see here where we could potentially put 2 or 3 more to kind of enclose this space, which I think is going to be wonderful. And it just, and I was moving these around. I was having a lot of fun kind of setting these up, just kind of seeing where I wanted to place these. This is the backside of the gazebo. We don't do much back there. It's our exercise deck. We have a lot of stuff taken down because it's winter still, but I threw some furniture up here. How cute with these are creating another wall. I feel like it just adds so much personality. So now we're going to put them in their home for this moment. Again, we're going to line them up, and you guys are going to have to let me know down below. I played around with these for quite some time and I honestly just couldn't decide. I was kind of figuring out if we could do 2 and then 2 on the other side, or 3 one caddy corner, but I think the one that I'm having the hardest time deciding, I was even asking my kids and they're like, I'm not sure. So we did 3 across the back, and then they fit like a glove. They fit perfectly and they looked really good together. And then I ended up doing one, a little kitty corner in the corner, just to see what it looks like. You're gonna have to let me know, but I created a little conversation space and I love it. One, again, because it hides the view of the sort of utility side of our driveway, drive-in part of the backyard. So it's really sweet. I'm gonna move some furniture over here. I moved our dining room table or outdoor table to the other side of the yard on the opposite side of the play set, and I'm just gonna set this up. This is how it's gonna look for now. In about a month or two it might change, but I had a lot of fun with this setup. It just needs some greenery, but we are expecting a ton of rain, so I'm not gonna put anything out because I feel like it's going to die. Thank you again to Enclo for sponsoring today's video. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you made it this far, thank you for hanging out with me. Spending any portion of your day always means a ton because time is so incredibly precious. I hope that you remind yourself to give yourself grace no matter what you tackle today or you tackle tomorrow. It is okay to take things slow. I'm super happy with how this transformation came out. I feel like these are so much fun. I will see you guys in the next video.